Hi everyone, we're back live at the GuideWell Insights Lounge at the Oliver Wyman Health Innovation Summit. I'm delighted to bring to you Hemant Taneja. Hemant, welcome to the interview.
Thank you.
Hemant is the Managing Director for the General Catalyst Partners. Hemant, you have a very interesting career. I was researching you, and you have been investing ever since the dot-com days. I was wondering, where do you see us moving forward with Health Market 2.0, and what role does venture capital play in really helping us get to that future state?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way we think about it, digital health in particular is one of probably top 2 investment areas today when you think about venture capital and where it's going. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is, well, the sheer size of the healthcare industry is just so large. But I think the second is a lot of the innovations that have come out of, particularly out of Silicon Valley over the last 10 years, when you look at sort of Ubers and Snapchats and Twitters and so on, a lot of this consumerized technology, when married with the needs in the healthcare system, we think there's just fundamentally new category of businesses that are going to get created. So we're actively investing in this area.
Excellent. So innovation in the health vertical often has to account for the fact that the buyer is different from the user.
Yeah.
So how is it that you counsel folks that come to you looking for funding support that they might have to consider a B to B to C model and not just a B to C?
Yeah, it's a very good question. There's a lot of companies today that come and present business plans to us where they're essentially either they're selling to risk-bearing entities, so it's self-insured employers or they're going to payers, with the idea of sort of helping sort of reduce the cost of care and improve the quality of care. And our advice has been, it's complex to build a business like that successfully. You have to be good at selling to, again, sort of these risk-bearing entities, and then at the same time you have to have the DNA of organizations that are really good at consumer activation.
Right.
So a lot of what we look for and the advice we give is to build great interdisciplinary teams that understand how to sell in the healthcare system, go find the money, if you will, but also can build great consumer products that mirror what you see in the Apple ecosystem or the Google ecosystem today.
I imagine too, part of the perspective that you're able to provide with your longevity in this vertical is looking across different kind, like you just said, different kind of disruptions, different kind of industries that are really innovating. How is it that you look at things like digital currencies and try to predict how that could impact healthcare?
Yeah, I mean, I think digital currencies probably not so much, other than that it's a payment mechanism that can over time reduce fraud in any industry. But I do think sort of drawing upon innovation that's happening elsewhere and bringing it to healthcare is the digital health opportunity for the next decade. When you think about how sophisticated the mobile applications are, I mean, as you think about sort of how the games are created, how they engage users. If you can get consumers to engage in managing their health the same way, you'll actually make a dent in the overall cost of the healthcare systems, for example. So I think there's a lot of great design capabilities, sort of leveraging data to be able to engage consumers. Those kinds of innovations, borrowing them from other industries, we think there's a tremendous opportunity to apply that here.
Terrific. Well, another thing that we see certainly changing this current health economy is the shift from fee-for-service to fee-for-value. Where would you identify there are maybe some untapped opportunities that you would like to see explored a little bit more around that area? Yeah,
I mean, I think there's a few things that are interesting for us. One is the whole transparency problem hasn't really been solved yet. There's some emerging companies that have got some traction in that area, but we think there's a lot more that needs to be done. And it comes fundamentally from also a customer-oriented mindset. I think this industry traditionally hasn't been that strong in customer relationship management. So it's sort of rethinking the software stacks and what the sort of systems of record and systems of engagement are to engage customers, to have transparency. I think that underlying software and data layer is required to be able to drive outcomes the way we want from a fee-for-performance basis. And the last piece I'll say is, we are now connected. Everybody's carrying a mobile device. We've got lots of other devices we use. So how do we use them to have real-time sort of patient engagement, real-time sort of management of chronic care, and sort of helping us as consumers manage the disease in the background using technology? I think that's another thing that will make a difference to that end.
We've had many speakers kind of allude to that, and hopefully we see that really come to fruition quickly? Because I know so many people would benefit from that.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you, and it's kind of a pivot more towards your personal experience.
Sure.
You know, again, with your background and having seen you've been through the dot-com bubble, you've experienced so many things. How have you changed in your leadership as a managing partner and at General Catalyst Partners?
Yeah. So in the venture business, it's actually fairly simple, and I think it's taken me 15 years to learn this. But our job is to just follow great entrepreneurs wherever they're going. So one of the reasons digital health is interesting is obviously we've got a lot of challenges in the sector, and we need to disrupt cost and quality benchmarks. But the other is great entrepreneurs recognize that, and I think we're following them into the sector. And so to the extent that we'll always do a great job of following entrepreneurs where they're going, rather than being too rigid in what we invest in, that has served us well. We never thought we'd be investing in Oscar, which is a health insurance company, sort of 7 years ago. If you ever asked me, like, regulated industry, it's really difficult.
Right.
But it's one of our really exciting companies. Livongo Health the same way, which is working on helping manage chronic care for consumers.
We had Glenn Tolman on earlier.
Yeah,
so
great.
yeah.
Exactly. And so I think for us, it is all about following your entrepreneurs. It's a simple business in that regard.
Very good. Well, a good lesson to learn, I'm sure, after 15 years, but I'm sure they benefit from that perspective too. So, well, Hemant Taneja, thank you so much for joining us today at the GuideWell Insights Lounge. I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit. My name is Kate Warnock. We'll begin again with you soon.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks.